had a very basic sort of the schoolboy version, you know, the version you learn at school and in art class. Mainly the stuff, you know, I learned about his brushstrokes and his style of painting. I didn't know anything about him as a man in the past, about what a troublemaker he was, how difficult he could be. I didn't know much about his engineering. I didn't know much about his dissection of bodies that he would dig up. I didn't know any of the things that actually are arguably as interesting, if not more interesting, than the art. A lot of which he never finished. I mean, of course, he's left behind some, but many, many things are lost to history. Yeah, of course. I mean, initially, because David Goyer was very clear that it was going to be a graphic novel version of history, and that we were going to play fast and loose, and the costumes would be anachronistic, and the style would be very contemporary, and the delivery should be like a 21st century man, I thought, well, you know, the pressure's off in a way, because we're so clearly not trying to emulate who he really was. But what you don't realise, of course, is that people are very passionate about what they think he may have been like, and art historians are very passionate about what they're sure he may have been like, and so you end up in more hot water than perhaps you would have predicted. So I felt simultaneously liberated and terrified all at once. I read everything I could find. I went to his exhibitions, I read his journals, I read biographies on him, speculative ones that were written relatively close to the time of his life, and I just kind of picked apart a lot of what he seemed to be like psychologically. So a lot of people have tried to describe him as autistic, or described him as OCD, or having attention deficit disorder, or various things, and I just sort of tried to piece that together into a puzzle of who the man could be, based on sort of psychological evaluations of him. He's fantastic. He's a fantastic guy, incredible creator, and incredibly imaginative. The stuff he comes up with, you never kind of know what's going to come next. And the series is full of twists and turns. And our season finale of Series 2 premiered at the weekend, and it ends surprisingly. And my Twitter feed was just alive with people going insane that they hadn't predicted how it would end. And that's David's imagination, his ideas. And wouldn't this be cool if we did this? It's kind of his byword.
And you find such a wonderful, critical thing.
The buzz is growing and growing. In fact, that's what we've noticed most in almost the last month actually. It's just suddenly people have started to force other people to watch it, or said you have to watch this. And weirdly, in this kind of binge viewing world we live in, once you get to the end of a season, that's when people suddenly go, okay, I've got 8 to watch, I'll start now. Whereas they don't tend to watch weekly as much as they used to. So certainly the last month has felt like the world has sat up and taken notice in a way that we've all just been saying. We've been recognised everywhere in a way we never have previously. It's been kind of crazy.